Our next panel is also a very engaging panel, and I think they're going to have lots of good things to talk about relative to the customer experience. With us today, in addition to John Heimlich, who will be moderating, we've got Peter Ingram, who is the EVP and Chief Commercial Officer for Hawaiian Airlines, and Scott Wilson, who is VP of Merchandising and E-commerce for United Airlines, and also the developer of the United web app. If you've ever used it, it's pretty amazing. So feel free to ask them about that as well. And again, we'll have time for Q&A at the end. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to John.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'm sure there's lots of interest in this panel, and especially I'd like to thank Peter for driving all the way from Hawaii for this great event. Again, the miracle making it possible. What I'd like to start off by asking both Peter and Scott successively is, one of the questions that came up this morning in the investment panel was something to the effect of sort of misperceptions either of carriers or their CEOs. And there's one camp that thinks they've been too market share obsessed, and one carrier that thinks too financially obsessed. But what I want to get at is there a day or week that goes by at your companies where the senior leadership is not thinking about how to run a better operation and how to improve the customer experience?
If we're not thinking about how we take care of our customers, we are going to go out of business, and we deserve to go out of business. People will not come back and keep buying your product if you don't provide a certain level of satisfaction. So I push back a little bit. Hunter's research is undoubtedly right, because I know he's a very sharp analyst, and I was a CFO for 6 years before I had this job, and so I have to pay attention to the numbers as well. But the notion that we should just say, because there's a correlation in recent years of carriers who have low customer satisfaction and high profitability, that we should all just ignore customer satisfaction is not something that I think makes sense for us to follow. I think we have to, as an industry, learn how to walk and chew gum at the same time. Different companies are going to have different strategies, and frankly, part of customer satisfaction is being able to provide the product at a low cost, low price, and so there's different trade-offs we have to make. But we're always thinking about how we improve customer satisfaction, how we provide the tools to make it easier to get through an airport, how we provide comfort in flight, because we don't just want the customer one time. We want them to come back and try us again and again, and it's a very competitive business.